So Greg,
Well, I'm sorry, no other questions with that, but we're going to talk about, I'm sorry. But the school department, I just had a question on the school department.
Fine.
$200,000.
Right.
That money's coming out of free cash?
correct. And it's going to, Greg asked the school department to provide a list of small capital items that were not only in their budget. This was an aid to help close the gap on both sides, the town side too.
Correct.
And they plan on buying, my understanding is textbooks, and which is around $176,000, and the rest is not clearly defined.
Okay, I just wasn't sure what it was associated to for the school. So it's textbooks and TBD.
Textbooks and other one-time expenses. Yeah. They were specifically asked to come forward with a listing of one-time expenses.
Thank you.
I had a list far bigger than 200,000.
Well, that's why I was asking what it was in.
And in the other expense portion of the proposal that you gave us, it shows that basically being added back in
Yes.
and still leaving the school department with a $159,000 deficit
Right.
that they felt was manageable.
Right.
Correct? So
We hope.
we hope.
Well, I think they're meeting tonight, right? To
Yes.
solve that. Okay. That's all I have on that. Done.
Are you done?
I'm done.
But at this point, I'd like to thank the administrator, the department heads, the finance planning team, chair and vice chair, working closely with the finance committee and the school committee to get us to another balanced budget. Still have some sufficient reserves in hand to look at unanticipated costs and things that come up. We're once again in pretty good shape. Better than other communities. So. A lot of time and effort gets put in, particularly by finance planning team members, and the administration, to get these gaps closed. Their efforts are again to be applauded. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve.
Next is approve of the Verizon easement on 0 North Street.
We did that.
We did that
That came
a
up
few hours ago.
We're actually at the
Was
annual
that
town
last
meeting.
week?
It's
Annual
got
town
many-
meeting.
How many warrants? Okay. What do you want to do? Just go through and inform the board of what?
Yeah, I actually want to start with a special town meeting because it fits pretty well with what we've talked about. If you refer to the special town meeting warrant, which should be the first one, consisting of 6 articles. The first one is a standard article dealing with the budget amendment. As I previously indicated, the Recreation Department has anticipated a small shortfall in their salary account, together with an unpaid bill or an additional amount of money that's needed in the Finance Department for unemployment. We'll cover both of those amounts through a transfer from free cash.
Total dollar amount.
I think the total is about $36,000 for both of those items.
Maybe Maureen, just how did we fall short on the salary end of things on recreation?
Maureen, can you help on that?
Yes. What happened was when we put in for the budget subsidy.
Excuse me, Maureen. So you might want to use the mic just so people, those that are still tuned in at home, can hear it.
When we put in for the budget subsidy for fiscal year 12, we asked for the 110.7, and then after the June town meeting, contracts were settled, and we had buybacks for vacation and sick and things that were not anticipated, and merit increases and what have you. I have the detail right here as to the shortfall for us would be about 21.5, 18.51 cents.
One more time, Maureen.
I have 21,518 and 51 cents. You want a copy of this?
No,
Okay.
I've got it committed to memory, but thank you.
And it came in after town meeting, and it's things that weren't anticipated in the 110 years before. These things would be taken out of the salary pool, and that's what would happen. And I couldn't put in for it because I didn't know it. I didn't have those known numbers. I didn't know contract increases were going to be retroactive when they came through. I didn't know. I have a buyback sick. I've been here 16 years. I'm never sick. Sick today.
So you come to work sick?
Yeah, apparently. Actually, I've lost my voice. I feel fine.
Allergies.
Yeah, it probably is. So in my contract or in the contract, it allows for to buy back sick. So I don't wish myself sick, but it came through. And as far as vacation buybacks, there were a couple. We are making an effort in the office to put in for vacation time. Greg has probably seen a lot of picking slips from me to make sure that we hit the rollover and not in the buyback, so that we don't have that happening again. So that's the reason why, is more contracts things going forward. Because the contracts were settled, I know what they are, I can go forward with that. But they weren't settled, and we had a 2-year settlement and what have you, so that's what it came into. Yep.
Thank you.
I know, by the way, that's handled, because it is an enterprise fund, it's handled under Article number 5 of the special town meeting.
Not
It
number
has to be
one.
dealt with separately because it's an enterprise fund, but it doesn't
That's right.
affect the recommendation that we fund it from free cash.
All right, so Article 1 was what then?
Article 1 is approximately, was it 15,000? The unemployment?
Give or take, depending on the accrued interest.
Okay, so that's just the unemployment.
That's it.
Okay, it's not the 36,000, it's 15.
No, it's
All right.
it's 15, and then the additional sum of money.
Very good.
Snow deficit, total is 80,706.68. And we're gonna fund it from the overlay account, which is overlay surplus to be declared by the Board of Assessors. So we will not utilize free cash for this account.
I'm sorry, repeat that number, please.
80,706.
Previously discussed
68.
in the,
And the assessors are gonna make that determination on the surplus at what point?
Liz, can you help me?
At their next meeting, which I believe is the first week of March.
All right, so make sure I get that right. 80,706.
0.68.
68. And that's snow and ice.
that was on one of the sheets.
Right.
Yep. I'm just putting a note on right
Yeah,
on
but the overlay
article,
was gonna be zeroed out pretty much.
so I have it.
I meant to ask the question, but I gave up.
Thank you.
We've talked about adding money to the debt capital stabilization fund, again, using those surpluses in the fiscal 2012 accounts to fund that. I do not anticipate any monies to be voted under Article number 4. Article number 5, as Maureen just indicated, 21,518.51. And then the amount to be voted under the ambulance reserve is the $52,000, which will be voted from the fire department budget back into this account.
And just to close the loop on the discussion I had with you over ALS funding, we're gonna wait until October for all of it.
We actually have some ALS funding in the we've called out the stipend, but we've left in some of the other monies because the fear that we have, Bob, is that we will discuss payback to the general fund from the ALS account. But the fear that Elizabeth and I have is that we will have insufficient ALS revenues in October to do everything we want to do. So what we're suggesting is that we fund $72,978 using free cash to cover the ALS shift coverage.
And that to be put back into
To be
free
put
cash,
back
not
into
free cash,
the
but
stabilization fund
fund.
to be paid from ALS revenues at a later date. So that account trues up, because our fear was, we talked a little bit about this, is just timing wise, we fear that we get to October and we don't have enough money in the kitty to do everything that we want to ramp up our ALS program as quickly as we want to.
Yeah, we were aware that there would be some, as you say, ramp-up costs. associated with getting it up and running.
And that's a one-time
And
cost.
then eventually get paid back.
It's a one-time
Look at the ALS revenue, and Sean and I are working on, formalizing an information package for everybody that has the estimated ALS revenue based on in a 3-year plan of getting everything in place, so that we don't spend beyond the implementation per year. But the revenue numbers, clear to me, cover what we're doing for year one. And then the question is, as we bring on the additional personnel, which will take place in the second and third year, depending on your cash flow or the revenue generated.
If you want to look at the annual town meeting warrant,
Excuse me, may I just ask a quick question with regard to the warrants? When do we have to sign these?
May 7th,
May 7th, okay.
be ready.
Excuse me, did you want a recommendation on those?
We don't need it.
I thought we'd do that at our next meeting. Make
Well,
the
no, because
assignments.
we're gonna sign it, I mean, like on this one here, on those,
The timing.
we may be
I'm trying to think.
sponsoring with the Parks and Rec, if we're recommending it, we can put on that recommend, as far as part of the public
True.
notice.
True.
So you want to go through each one and vote on whether we
Well,
recommend
I'm okay
or
with
not?
all of them.
What?
Yes.
Me too.
Me too.
Is the board fully in support of all 6?
Yes.
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 Make a motion to move to
Mr. Chairman, I move to
recommend.
recommend Articles 1 through 6 for the special town meeting, June 4th, 2012.
Second.
Motion by Mr. O'Leary, second by Mr. Prisco. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Thank you very much.
Noted.
Okay, and the regular town meeting, I was amazed when I looked at this over the weekend, at how few articles there are when you take out all the reauthorizations.
Mr. Chairman, the other thing we did is we made a decision that we're going to defer major capital items other than water, and Mr. Carnevale is here to speak on that, and one other capital request until October. It's really not, we don't have available funds to be delving too deeply into capital right now. And we've also removed a number of the DPW articles that some of the others that board had concern about. So we can probably go through the annual one pretty quickly too.
Okay, let's do it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are all routine articles. Liz, are you aware of anything on the unpaid bills of a prior year? Nothing. So I would suggest that 1 through 5, the board recommend, and 6, you would maybe recommend at town meeting if something filters in at the last second.
Mr. Chairman, I move to recommend Articles 1 through 5 under the annual June 4th town meeting warrant as presented.
Motion by Mr. O'Leary, do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Prisco. Discussion, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous?
Mr. Chairman,
Article 6.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we hold recommendation on Article 6 till town meeting.
I would say 7 too.
I'm sorry, and
Second.
It's
and
7.
7.
It's 6 and 7.
Article 6 and 7.
Do I hear a
The
second?
recommendation to be made at town
I
meeting.
second. I'm just looking at 8.
Just second it. Did you vote on it yet?
No,
Then vote on
I
it.
just,
I just seconded.
Okay. On the motion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, 8, do you anticipate changes in that?
8 is, the reason why we're doing it is we want to separate out the transfers from free cash and handle them outside. It's just strictly an accounting, but it's that list that you saw on the bottom of the sheet, that total. There's not going to be any more additions to that. That number is what it is.
I think maybe we should wait to hold our recommendation
Okay.
till town meeting until
Yeah,
We can
because,
get through the main
yeah,
budget.
this is
Right,
just-
it's gonna
you're
And you have your
going-
budget hearing next week too, so.
So, Mr. Chairman, I move to make recommendation to town meeting floor.
Okay.
Article 8.
Do we hear a second?
Second.
Mr. Prisco.